So guys, welcome back. So in this tutorial we are going to be diving into one of the most important concepts in JavaScript, which are called functions. So functions are like reusable blocks of code. Instead of writing the same code again and again, you can wrap it inside the function and call it whenever you need it. I think of a function as a recipe. You write the steps once and you can use them over and over again. Okay, so let us take a look at the basic structure of a function. Okay, so the function, we can create it like this: function statement. So the function, we create it using the function keyword. Okay, here we first write the function keyword and then we provide the name followed by the brackets. Yeah, the brackets, which are called the parentheses, and then inside the parentheses we can pass their parameters. Okay, parameters, they are like inputs to the function. Okay, the inputs that we supply to that function while calling it. Okay, so they can be used inside the function, and these ones can be dynamic because every time you call that function you need to supply them. Okay, so here we have, and then after doing that, you need to provide the curly brackets, yeah? And inside the curly brackets, it's where the code we write our block of code. Okay, that's it. So why should you use functions? Functions, they help us to write the code once and we use it many times, and they can make our code organized. Okay, so we can break large tasks into small pieces, yeah? that can be easier to debug. Okay, so let us see how we can create, or how we can call a function. Okay, calling a function, we call it like this. We just write the name of the function. Okay, the name. Okay, and then we write the parentheses, the parentheses followed by the parentheses, the name followed by the parentheses. So here let us give it function 1, fun1, function for function 1. Then here we can call it fun1 like that, like that, like that. Okay, then if inside here we had some code, let us console.log fun1 like that, and if we save our file and we get something, we get fun1 printed on the screen. Okay, so let us see what are these parameters. We talked about parameters in the beginning. Okay, so let us see how we can add the parameters. We can make a function more flexible by passing values into them, which are called the parameters. When we call the function, the values we pass are called the arguments. Okay, they are called the arguments here. These ones that we pass, they are the arguments. Okay, so for example here we can have a name there, which is the parameter. So let us pass then here let us print out the name. Okay, like this. Let us print out the name. So we use this. We are now able to use this one to use anything that is passed, that is passed in that function, in this function. Okay, so we use it by printing it on the screen. Okay, and here when we call this function, if we call it and we don't supply the required value, the required arguments, and we save, here we can see we get undefined. Okay, undefined. Okay, so here we can tell, because this one was undefined, it was not set. Okay, so let us set it here. Let us set it. We can give here, supply here the name, which is Rashid, and if we save and we run our program, here we get Rashid printed on the screen, our name printed on the screen. Okay, so let us see how we can return values. These functions can return values. Okay, so let us see. So in order to return values, we use the return keyword like this. Return, then we can return our name. Okay, instead of printing it on the screen using the console.log, we can do that. Okay, and if we save and we run our program, we get nothing. Okay, we get nothing. As you can see here, we can return, we get nothing. Okay, so here if we return, let us return something like, let us first return 1 plus 1. Okay, we shall get 2. Let us see. So we are getting nothing. Okay, we are getting nothing here. So in order to see the output, we just need to wrap this function inside the console.log. So let us X here, and let us supply here. let us first console.log. We want to console.log anything that is returned, okay, from our function, okay. This return statement will be run, this one, it will now be returned, and if we save, we shall get a 2, okay, printed there, okay. And if we had our name here, like the name there, and if we do this, we get our name returned like that, yeah, if we are using the return, okay. Or we can do this, we can restore it in a variable like the name here, get name. This one we can name it get name like that, and then we provide the function. So we call this function. Let us just and then here we are going to return the get name, yeah? That name, yeah? We are going to return it, yeah? So here we paste there, and we need to provide our name like that. So after providing it and we save, we shall get the same output. As you can see, our name is returned, okay. So let us look at what is called the function expressions. So let us start using it. Let us see how we can use function expressions. Okay. So here, instead of creating our function like this, okay, we can create it like this. So we can have here our function, okay, and then we can create it and we store it in a variable. So constant, we can call it, instead of using the name here, we can do this. Let us remove this one here, and let us put our name here, there, and then let us use the equals like this. We create the function, we use the function keyword, we create it like this, and then we store it in a variable, okay. That's what we call function expressions, okay. So now we can just call our function like this, and if we try to save and run our program, as you can see, we get the same output, okay. So let us look at another way of creating functions is by using the arrow functions, okay. So in ES6, yeah, which is in EX6, yeah, there was introduction of arrow functions, which is a shorter way to write functions, okay. So you should not mind about ES6 if you don't know, okay. You will get to know that in the future, okay. Or if you go back and study the basics, the basic knowledge, but that one is not necessary unless you want to know, to go deep into JavaScript, okay. So just forget about that, okay. So let us see how we can use arrow functions. To use arrow functions, we use them like this, okay. So here we have our functions, we have our function, we can create it like this, we just have to delete this one. Let us delete this one, and then we just create it like this. Instead of this one we say function, the function name, this is the variable, it is equals to this one, curly brackets, these are no parentheses, then we pass in the arguments, the argument we have only the name, okay. And here, instead of using curly brackets, we can just use arrow functions. Here, hello, we can just use an arrow like this, hello. Then here we can just return the name, okay, the name like that, and if we save, as you can see, we get the same output, okay. This is like an easiest way of creating simple functions, okay. So as you can see, even if we add here another function for adding, we can get it like this. Here we want A and here we want B, and here we can return A plus B, okay, like that, and here if we console.log, here we can call the let add, call our add function. Then we need to provide A and B, okay. So let us provide 1 and 9, okay. So we shall get 10, okay. So here, after doing this, we can now come right here. So added like that, added number. So we can come here and we call our added like that, yeah. We can call it like that, and if we do this, we get 10 as the addition answer, when we have added, okay. So in functions, we also have what we call the default parameters. We can set default values for parameters. So if no argument here is provided, the default is used, okay. For example, here in added, a user might insert values like like these ones, the value might might not supply, okay? Or if you are coding, you might forget to supply the values. For example here, and for example here, we can try to add values which are not there, and we get not a number. We get this error, NaN, okay? Not a number, okay? So this error should not mind about it. You'll get to learn these errors, okay, in the future, these JavaScript errors in the future, okay? So here, to prevent this one, we can provide default values, okay? We can provide default values. For example, for A here, for A, we can provide it here, A. We want to provide what? We want to provide it, let it be 0, okay? And even B, let it be 0, okay? Like that, And if we save, we are no longer getting that error, okay? So we just get a 0, okay, as you can see. And if the user provides the new values, like 2 and 6, we shall get a summation of 8, okay, as you can see, okay? So there's another concept that we can use, another concept in functions that we need to learn, is that functions can even call other functions, which is called the function composition, okay? They can call other functions, okay? So for example here we have our sum function, add function here. We can have another one. Let us have another function for subtraction, add, paste. This is for what? This is for subtract, like that. So here we have this one, and here we have the subtraction. So let us call this one, let us create another function which is called mathematics. So here we can have a function. Let us have a function there, and this one we are going to call it math, okay? Let us call it just math, and here we don't have any parameter, okay? So here we can call our functions. So we can call add, like that. We can call that function add, and then here we can provide the arguments, or we cannot provide them, okay? We can leave them, okay? So subtract, even we can provide them, or we can't, but let us provide them. So let us provide 10, and 10, and even here 10 and 10, okay? So here we shall get the answer for subtraction. We shall get the answer to be which is a 0, and here we shall get a 20, okay, as we know. So here, after doing that, we can now come here, and instead of calling addition, let us also call console.log. Let us call for math. Let us call math. Okay, it takes 0 arguments, 0 parameters. It has 0 parameters. Okay, so let us save, and when we save, we get something like this. Okay, so which is an error. So let us do this. Okay, and if we save, we get undefined. No. We are supposed to just call them. Okay, we are supposed to just call them like this. Console.log. Here we are returning these values, and here we are. Here we need console.log them. Okay, so here we are supposed to console.log that one, and here we need to repeat it. Copy, paste there. Then here, this one is supposed to be subtract there. Okay, and here we just come here and we call it like this. Even if we don't console.log, just say math. Okay, like that. And if we do this, we get the 20 and even the 0. Okay, so function can call another function, okay, inside it. It can call other functions. So this is a powerful way. Also, we can have this is a powerful way on how we can use functions. Okay, so thank you. Please play around with functions, play around with them, make practice. Okay, practice makes perfect. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel, subscribe and click the bell icon. You should not forget to like the video. Every time you click on the video, first like the video. Okay, first like it. Okay.